Hey, y'all. Welcome to day 21 of the Visibility Challenge. I am Bree, the BREE, and today I want to talk about this never ending journey when you start to be more aware. There comes a point when your awareness to how you respond, how you think, how you react, how you move, all of these different things, it deepens to the point that you understand this growth is forever. This journey does not have an ending. It has more of like a series of endings, of ebbs, of flows, but it's like once you're aware of how much awareness changes the way you live your life, it becomes like a game of every time you feel triggered, you feel pressure, you feel distraught, grief, anger, anything, any of these lower frequencies, it becomes a game of how can I become more present? How can I use this to become more in tune, more aligned with myself, more aligned with the life that I'm here to live? How can I use this for growth? And when I first started really becoming aware that there wasn't an end, because when I started this, I fully thought there was an end. I fully thought that this was like one of those things where you start it and you become enough, you change enough, you evolve enough, and then one day you're done. You are your highest self, you're your best self, you're your favorite self, and life is just easy peasy, all good. And what kept happening to me was that I would think I was there. I would think that I did it. Um, it typically was wrapped around dreams of mine. So one of my dreams would come to fruition. All my hard work, all my effort, it paid off and the dream came true. But internally, I still felt the same. Internally, I was still struggling to allow myself the opportunity to understand how much growth had been also coming to fruition as my dream did. And instead, I kept my focus on I did it and it was awesome and it was not what I expected and it didn't fix me the way that I thought it would. I still didn't feel like the person I thought I was supposed to feel like once this thing happened, once this dream came true. And that left me feeling like maybe I did it wrong, or maybe it wasn't good enough, or maybe I was missing the bigger picture, or maybe I would just never be that version of myself. Maybe I would never feel what it was I wanted to feel within so desperately. Maybe I would never achieve finding that feeling and becoming that real version of myself. And after I wrote the books, I and after I became a coach, I was doing all of these things and I was really impacting lives. And people were making me clearly aware of the positive impact I was having on their lives. But I was really struggling with imposter syndrome, where I felt like it, their words and what they were telling me weren't really landing within. I wasn't allowing myself to fully believe what they were saying. Like I did, because it was impossible to ignore. They were giving me examples and stories, and they were making it crystal clear that this was real. They read my book and they wanted to change all of these things about their life, or they had already been changing these things about their lives. And I made them aware of things that they could no longer ignore. No matter how much they wanted to, they could no longer ignore their own understanding of how they had been negatively impacting their own lives and how they needed to shift these things in order to feel better about their own selves, their lives, all of it. I knew it was real, but I didn't feel like I was actually an important piece, even though they were telling me it was my book, it was my words, it was my class, it was my coaching that made them feel this way. And it connected their reasoning and with their understanding and brought them to this new place of awareness where they felt like they could genuinely move differently from here on out. And I knew it was all true, but something within me just went, well, you got lucky. Or, yes, it's true, but you're still not as good as you think. Or, you're not capable of doing this forever. Or, yes, you did this great thing, but just wait until you fail. And I was really struggling. I went back and forth a lot, like with feeling good and like purposeful and passionate. And like I finally was becoming this version of myself, and I really was her. But I just couldn't quite connect it to make it stick permanently. So I would find myself having moments of doubt in my abilities, and I would find myself roller coastering a lot, and it affected my ability to write and to create and to share, because this doubt started creeping in really heavily to everything new that I tried to produce. And I think part of it was because I did understand it was real, and it made me acutely aware of people listen to me, and people take what I say very seriously and to heart. And it made me not want to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. And I was so afraid that I was going to. And I was so afraid of what that might look like and what it might, how it could possibly negatively impact them. And I started overthinking, and I started worrying way too hard. And it was a strange place to be. I just really didn't feel like I was ever gonna be able to believe in myself the way that everybody else was believing in me. And then I just kind of took a hiatus from everything. I just really needed to do some soul searching and to make sure that this was really my path. This was really my calling. This was really something that I could handle, something that I really wanted, that I couldn't walk away from. I couldn't just quit. No matter how afraid I got, I had to see if it kept calling me back. And it did. Ruthlessly. It was letting me know over and over again that, girl, you're never walking away from this. You've already opened the door. This is who you are. And you can doubt all you want, but you're never going to be able to quit. This is who you're born to be. This is what you're here for. And I realized that that space was needed for me to come back even better, more confident, more clear, more able to be vulnerable and to show up more presently. And I started to really understand that I did trust myself to show up and do the best that I could with whatever I have at the moment. And I also understood that I now truly grasp the concept of evolution and growth and time, and that I could believe something right now in the present that is just a point that I am building from. So what I say in these areas may expand. It may contradict some old things that I once thought were true. It wasn't that I had to be perfect all the time. It was that I just had to show up and have the conversations. And I just had to use those moments as a place to show and have conversations around evolution and growth. And I needed to allow myself the ability to just show up and to be human and to be imperfect. And I needed to release the pressure that I was putting on myself. And to do that, I needed to put myself in the present moment more often. I needed to understand and be kind to myself when I caught myself overthinking and worrying and comparing from the past and fearing the future. And I really needed to allow myself grace to grow in front of y'all. I needed to allow myself to show up as is and to know that whatever comes my way in the future, I will be able to handle. I will be able to talk about with the same rawness, realness, all of it. And when I really started allowing myself to understand that this is never ending, I will forever be a student and a teacher and all of these other things. And I needed to just let myself show up 100% as is. And that needed to be okay. And then I understood that this never ends. I will be building off of my past. I will be creating a future for as long as I am alive. And the only part of it that currently matters is what is present right now. As long as I'm not getting stuck in the past and I'm being intentional about visiting the past, to build from it, to learn from it, to expand and evolve from it. That is okay. That is intentional. That is going back with a purpose. Not to prove that I'm right. It's to deepen my understanding, my empathy. It's to enhance my future and where I'm going. It's to enhance the present moment. It's to bring it into the present day in a way that allows me to be more myself consistently. My favorite self. And if I'm in the future, it's not to try to control the outcome. It's to strengthen my present. It's to make sure that where I'm going is aligning with who I am right now. It's to see where things are currently out of alignment and where I can dive in deeper and I can expand further and challenge myself to show up in new ways and to find more connective, kind ways to be right now that gets me even closer and more aligned with where I am going. But I don't stay in the past or the future for long. I come back to the present and I see how it applies in this moment. I allow it to catch my attention so that I can connect it to right now. I can see what I need right now. And it takes all of the overwhelming feelings that I used to get so burnt out from. It takes all of that out of my journey. And it allows me to be present and to be completely checked in and to understand from such a better space. And it genuinely makes my life better. It feels more like mine. I feel more connected. And those feelings of doubt don't creep in. They don't take over. And even if they do show up, I can greet them. I understand them. I don't try to pretend it's not happening. I say, oh, that makes sense. And I understand where it's coming from. And I understand what I'm fearing. Well, y'all, I was recording this episode and my camera just stopped recording. And I am taking this as a sign to just let this sit and to go be present in my day. So today isn't perfect. And today, that's going to be okay. I hope that you take something away from this. And I hope that today you breathe. Today you allow yourself to be in the right now. Today I hope that you understand that this journey isn't meant to feel long and exhausting. It's meant to feel exciting, exhilarating, terrifying, passionate, purposeful. It's meant to break you free and help you break others free. And it's meant to be lived. It's meant to feel lived. And it's not rushing to a finish line. It's allowing yourself to run so many different courses and to change directions at any time and to take in and become immersed in this to the best of your ability. This life is meant to be lived, and it's meant for you to find more you, not to try to fit in, not to make yourself small, but it's just meant for you. It's meant for you to explore and play and come to life. It's meant for you to find your way, to enjoy, and to be able to soak it in. So soak it in. I hope that you start allowing yourself to truly soak in your present moment even more, to appreciate the past. If you go there, you build from it, and to be excited about the future because you know it all works out. I hope you find more trust in yourself. I hope you find more trust in your journey, more kindness, more empathy for everything that you've been through. And I hope you find your way to a deeper connection within. Remember, y'all, nothing meant for you will miss you. Breathe. Be present. There's always something beautiful for you to find right now.